So, you're listening to Reclaim Radio with myself, Carl Rickards, on a Friday evening. Some of the listeners may be aware that myself and Katia have been engaged in a cheese off, and we have gone to the expert in this field, the one and only Mr. Jake Yapp. Jake, thanks for doing this.
Expert is a very loose term, and you know, I don't want to start quoting Michael Gove, but definitely in the world of vegan cheese, I think people have had enough of experts. I'm not an expert, but I've dabbled. You know, I've tried.
Well, I think the thing that surprised me is because we sort of have a recipe, or Katia may have found a recipe, which I tried, which is very simplistic. So hopefully you can advise where we went wrong, because it was basically nuts, soaked cashew nuts with lemon juice and a bit of salt. And then I saw your videos, and it does seem more scientific the way you do it.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, a lot of vegan cheeses use cashew nuts as a base. This is in the world of sort of what I'll call artisanal vegan cheese making in the commercial ones, because now, of course, it's a really big deal. Vegan cheese making with Tesco's and Sainsbury's now making their own brand vegan cheese. It's mainly coconut oil, but in all the sort of homespun recipes, it usually involves soaking cashews for a while, which sounds awful, but does work. And then you blend it, and then you can either sort of flavour it as is, or you can do what I did, which is to add this magical fluid.
Well, I did. Go on, sorry, Jake.
Called Rejuvelac.
Well, I did see that, and I think on one of the videos you actually did. You drink a bit from the bottle?
I tried a little. It said you could. I mean, the thing is, you can make your own Rejuvelac, and this is where people have been going wrong all these years. People have been sprouting grains. Like you get like bean sprouts, effectively. People they sprout the beans or the grains, and then eat the sprouts and throw away the water. And of course, in the world of veganism, that's all wrong. The water's where the magic is. Never mind the sprouts. So Rejuvelac is basically sprouted bean water, and it's filled with enzymes. It's alive. It's a culture, much like yogurt and stuff. And so the idea is that you put that into the cheese, and that then begins that sort of fermentation process, which is what notionally will give it a similar sort of flavour to cheese. It might not.
Well, I was going to say I am a bit because I did see that you put the sort of magic. That sounds wrong, but the magic juice in there. And then, like I said, when I was trying, I saw you doing the salt rub. And things, and
that's to keep the mould off it as it dries. Yeah.
Well, see, I'm just thinking now that we've gone in far too low, me and Katia, trying to do this with just basically nuts and a bit of lemon juice.
No, I disagree. The nice thing is some recipes are very, 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 very straightforward. And actually, I mean, it doesn't take an awful lot to make cheese. And I'm sure what you made was perfectly delicious.
Do you know, I can't fake. It's actually sat in my fridge now. I think Katia may have had an incident where she put the cashews in a bowl and put a hand blender in it, which didn't go well, from what I've heard.
No, that's never going to end well. In fact, I think I saw a little bit of that. And she's presumably still washing her walls down. But yeah, I mean, it's hard, and it's hard to do it at home because you're talking about semi-industrial processes. I've got this idea, right, to try and do this, but instead of soaking cashews, why not just add a little bit of water to some cashew butter?
Ah.
Then it's already smooth, you see.
See, it might be, you see, you're giving us ideas, because I suspect this will not be the end of this particular experiment.
No, you can't stop. You've just started. So that's my thinking is there might be something you could do, because I did try that once. I added a bit of water to some cashew butter, and it gives it this nice kind of it's hard to describe. It's like sort of cream, like thick cream, but with a kind of slightly roasty, nutty flavour. It was quite nice. And I see why that wouldn't be a good basis for making cheese, but then it would take a very long time to dry out.
I was going to say, so may I ask, and obviously feel free to tell me to do one, but so did you do this because you became vegan or vegetarian or vegan, and then thought, I will give this a go, or was it something you've always... Okay.
Fundamentally. No, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And back in the dark days of 2012, there wasn't much knocking about. I mean, now there are some really great vegan cheeses. I would say for anyone thinking of trying it, I have to say, Sainsbury's vegan cheese is really good. And I've seen hardcore non-vegans who spend half their lives in France eat the caramelized onion flavor vegan cheese and pronounce it delicious. And yeah, go on.
I was going to say, people did say to us after last Friday's show, people were like, why don't you just go and buy some? That would be far easier, but it's not as much fun.
Well, you can now. You see, you couldn't do it then. Yeah, exactly. And you can give it your own unique twist by spraying it out the walls. Vigusto is another really good cheese making company. They make really lovely cheese. But no, I think we need to keep this whole kind of homespun thing going, and I think it's fun to experiment. I mean, if without that, the vegan world would be much the poorer, you see, because what I just told you about Rejuvelac, which I know sounds appalling, and it's like drinking sort of slightly lemony, yeasty water. That's what Rejuvelac tastes like, which I guess is what it is. But if we weren't experimenting at home, then no one would have discovered aquafaba. Now, have you heard about this? This might be your next mission if you haven't heard about this one.
No, this is a new one.
Okay, aquafaba is just a posh way of saying bean water. Again, all our lives, we've been eating the wrong part of foods. So I told you about the bean sprouts in the water. Well, this is where you've been going wrong with your canned chickpeas, right? Presumably, if you've ever bought canned chickpeas, you've drained the chickpeas and then eaten them, right? Huge mistake. Throwing away the water, that's where your destiny lies. Chickpeas, schmickpeas, the water that comes in the cans made of chickpeas, people are now using to make meringues. Okay. It turns out you can whip it like egg white.
But again, how did people discover these things, Jake?
Desperation! You've no idea what a desperate life it is being vegan. Or was. I mean, it's not now. Now, it's a piece of cake, and it's great fun. I actually love it. It's the happiest I've ever been, genuinely, in terms of the food I eat. And not in a kind of, I feel so pure way. Just genuinely, I've never loved my food as much as I do now. But, no, it's back then, it was a very desperate time. You can walk into any supermarket now, you can find dairy-free chocolate. Marks and Spencer's, they'll do you a box of chocolates that's completely dairy-free, and some of the nicest chocolate I've ever tasted. You can go anywhere. You can get dairy-free chocolate spread. You can get ice. There's a huge selection of ice creams in supermarkets now. Now it's a piece of cake. But we veterans from 2011, well, we remember the dark days. I don't know how people coped in the 80s. I think you were legally allowed to be stoned to death for being vegan in the 80s in this country. But now it's brilliant.
So I just find it, excuse me, I just find it weird that, because I am, please don't judge me, Jake, but I am a meat eater, so I've decided, I did see your video about the fake bacon, which does look like I would give that a go.
Oh, really? Excellent. Yeah, I might try it again. I've got, because, to be honest, once you start going down the hippie route, if you're curious, you might end up buying a dehydrator, and I've bought a food dehydrator, and I think that might be the way forward.
So does, because I have seen these things, and bizarrely there is a shop in Rochdale that supplies them nationwide. But how does, and I'm sorry for taking so much of your time, but how does that work then?
Just a dehydrator. Mm-hmm. It's brilliant. It's basically like a combination of an oven and a fan. So what it does is it's actually fairly economical to run, but it just warms the air slightly and blows air over your food to dry it out. I have never tasted banana chips like the ones that I've made in my food dehydrated. If you get like really perfectly ripe bananas, not the ones that are kind of green and hard that you could open a can with, but like really nice sweet bananas, and then finely slice those and turn them into banana chips. Oh my god, they're amazing. And I make kale chips for my little boy. He's 3. I mean, you try getting a green vegetable into a 3-year-old, but he goes berserk for homemade kale chips, which is great fun. And I've just look. I told you I was going hippie, right? So just I'm not saying this should be the first thing you do with your food dehydrated, but today, literally overnight, I've tried dehydrating Brussels sprouts.
Right.
Because it's Christmas. And I figured, why not? And they're really good. They're sweet and crispy,
but
a little bit chewy.
Does it take all the moisture out then as well?
Yeah, it does. It takes the moisture out, so you end up with these sort of nice, dry, crispy things. But the idea is that because you're only heating them very, very, very gently, you actually keep more of the nutrients. So it's supposed to be better for you as well. But I don't really care about that. I just like the flavour.
You see, I'm worried now that I'm going to start turning to the dark side.
A little bit curious, aren't you? A little bit curious.
Yeah, I'm tempted to give it a go. But
You'll never get back.
I was going to say, Jack, have you any more tips for me and Katya, or should we just carrying on?
Yes. My top tip would be to buy some nutritional yeast flakes. Which you can buy in health food shops. You can buy them online anywhere, in any sort of online grocery place. But they're quite abundantly available now. They sort of look a bit like desiccated verrucas, but they're brilliant. They give a really delicious kind of nutty, cheesy, Watsy kind of flavour to things, and we stick them in everything. I put them on the kale chips. Actually, I put a recipe for kale chips in there's a magazine called Cook Vegan, and in February's edition, I've got the recipe for kale chips, and you can do them in the oven if you haven't got dehydrated. But dehydrated, nutritional yeast flakes are just brilliant. You can stick them in stews, pasta. It's great on pasta. Yeah, it's amazing. That is your lifeblood as a vegan.
I was going to say, I've got some friends who will be amazed that I'm even considering this path in my life.
There's never been a better time. I mean, genuinely, it's really fun. The fact that you can walk into Tesco's and buy basically a cornetto, and it's vegan, to me, that it's like, well, it's a piece of cake.
Is that just a change in culture generally? Do you think, as things have got more accepted?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a quote from Gandhi, I think, which goes, first they laugh at you, then they get angry with you, then you win. And that's the thing. It goes without saying that every vegan obviously would dreams of a world where there is no violence committed for people's dinners. So that's why we can sometimes be a bit boring and a bit hectic. But the fact is, when people start getting angry with you, you know it's because deep down, you've probably pricked their conscience a little bit. And deep down, they know that they should probably think about giving up meat and embracing the joyful new world of desiccated verrucas.
I was going to say, I shall, I'm so tempted to go and have a look now. But, Jack, thank you very much for the time this evening, yes.
Yeah, that was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
But and your radio show on Talk Radio is still on Sunday mornings?
That's right, 8 o'clock, me and Laura Shaman.
Excellent, so I shall be listening to that as well this week. Well, as I say, thanks again, Jack. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, thanks for having me.
Okay, cheers.
Bye.
Bye.